What's up, and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab. I paused for a second because last time in the beginning my mic was muted, so I had to look down and make sure that it was not. I don't know how that happened yesterday, but I guess that was a sign of things to come. We had a weird day yesterday, but I mean, mainly because of injury. There's nothing you can do about that stuff. It's just a very unfortunate part of gambling on sports. Definitely something. I forgot to go live on TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, it's at Live Joe Bets, just like everything else. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. If you are watching on Twitter, watching the show for the first time on Twitter, either live or you came by it, just later on here today, I am live every single day on YouTube at Lunchtime in the Lab. Search Lunchtime in the Lab. Now have over 1,000 subscribers. Daily videos here, doing a pick of the day, play of the day type thing, putting those on Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff too. So if you are watching on Twitter, though, I can pull up the any comments that you guys leave, just like I can do on the YouTube side of things. So definitely engage if you guys are you're around and you're watching. Let me pull up. We have some pretty crazy like batter versus pitcher matchups today in terms of like previous like home run success. So the home run lotto, we can definitely run off of just like a history type thing. Could almost be kind of easier to put it together, easier than normal, I guess. Just trying to pull that up. My computer's being pretty slow. Hopefully it's not going to be too laggy. I got that warning. My internet was weird. I did get my T-shirt in today from the the new merch store that I put together. So I want to try it on, see how it fits, just make sure I like the quality of it before I just up and release a merchandise store. So we'll see. Maybe tomorrow we'll be able to chat about that and talk about releasing the merchandise store for the show. But I want to make sure it fits, and like the design's right. And honestly, I should have got one of the nicer T-shirt versions just to see if it's really worth it or not. I mean, it's just like a plain cotton T-shirt, but I mean, I guess we'll certainly see, how it turns out or whatever, So let me get my notes pulled up here. I will say weather-wise today, we have two, really just in terms of, like home run hitting, we have a lot of good weather, like wind blowing out. Here we have one, what's it, like a 15 game slate today? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost half of those games in the green in terms of, increased home run percent today. You got the Yankee Stadium, due to, weather conditions, everything has got an 11% increase. You got wind blowing out to right field at Wrigley Field, 18% increase there. We know we see a lot of home runs. Talked about it yesterday, seen plenty of home runs with the Cubs yesterday. Let's see, that'd be a lefty. Maybe we go after. Honestly, I think we got to add Happ, man. Ian Happ was hitting the hell out of the ball yesterday. Multiple doubles. That first double he had would have been a home run in 4 out of the 32 ballparks. So I feel like Ian Happ's got to be one to add in today, or even look at him to play like something straight or something like that. Let me actually pull up that Cubs game. Let's see. You got wind blowing out in Washington, wind blowing out in Philly, Cleveland, Boston. There is some pretty good chance of a delay or a postponement though for the Cleveland game and potentially the Washington game. I do of course have a play in the Washington game, the Nationals game today, as we all know who is pitching today and who I like to attack there. However, we'll talk about that a little more in a second. But there's a potential chance of rain there, unfortunately. That could certainly screw with some things. Happ to hit a home run today is plus 500. I was curious what like his total bases was because I mean the dude was just plus 130 on his total bases. That seems honestly kind of crazy. The way he was hitting the ball yesterday. But we'll get going on some stuff. What's up, Marcus? Yeah, I mean, he had 5 total bases yesterday, and they're going to give us a plus 130, and you got wind blowing out. That's crazy. I do like Happ, though. I don't know why I'm talking home run stuff, but we're talking about needing a lefty. He's a lefty. He has faced Fetty though a few times, hasn't been fantastic against him, but I mean he's just been hitting the ball so good. I think it's a pretty good look for some home runs. But anyway, I don't really have an early up lean, to be honest, either for you guys. Damn man, these lines are moving. Pitcher props have been just crazy to try to bet on. Early up promo, I don't know. If anybody in the chat, anybody that's watching has got a lean for the early up promo, I mean, certainly let me know. I don't have an official play on the podcast for it today. My first thought was the Dodgers. Anytime the Dodgers are priced like even money, I generally had been taking them. In that hot streak when I went 16-0, I think I'd hit on the Dodgers a couple times in the early up promo. But they're going against Paul Skeens, James Paxton pitching, but the Pirates offense really isn't that good. Part of me almost wants to go gut and say Dodgers, but the Dodgers couldn't even score one run yesterday, so like that's certainly a little scary. Part of me thinks like the Royals again. We ran it for the Royals yesterday, but I mean the Guardians ultimately won that game. You also have the bad weather. Everything else is kind of, the Orioles is a good line, but don't trust, the Blue Jays. Honestly, maybe the Tigers over Jose Urena. Jose Urena has not been good. I don't know what his recent starts are, so Tigers might not be a bad one for the early up promo, to be honest. Or the Reds, but the Reds are like minus 135, so you're kind of getting out of that, like, do I really want to bet? Do I really want to bet that high, put 1.35 units on it kind of thing? I certainly prefer to take like a dog with it. Reds are certainly a thought. Dakota Hudson hasn't been that good, and Jose Urena hasn't really been that good either. Let's see. Trying to pull up. I mean, the dude was like pure fade material last year. I mean, the guy had been, terrible. Let's see. Here it is. Trying to see when he pitched last. I mean, he pitched just 2 innings against the Marlins, gave up 4 runs. Pitched 5 against the Twins, gave up 3 runs. So he's been, transitioned back into being a starter here. He gave up 1 to Oakland, 2 to Colorado, 1 to the Angels, 3 to the Twins, 2 to, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 2 to Oakland, 2 to Colorado, 1 to the Angels, 3 to the Twins, 4 to the Marlins. So, I don't know. Tigers might not be a bad look. Maeda's been pitching, a little better. Dakota Hudson recently, 1 run to the Dodgers, 2 to the Phillies, 3 to the Giants, 3 to the Padres, 4 to the Giants. I mean, the Reds seem like a good look. The Reds outscored have outscored the Rockies at like 17-4 or something crazy like that in this series. So I feel the Reds is probably a good look. I just see the Reds like money line kind of getting a little out of control. It's moved all the way up, like I said, to minus 135. So I don't have an official play on it. Maybe something in the Discord will come for it. But let's go ahead and get going on the plays here. Let's see. Before we get into today's plays, as always, take a look back at yesterday. Today is Wednesday, 6-4. We had the Brewers and the Phillies over 8.5. Terrible. Bad bet, man. Like, it's crazy, though, if you think about it. You had, 2 pitchers that were pretty mid, in my opinion. You have the 2 best offenses in the league going against each other. Obviously, they do again today. Watch there be a ton of runs today, but unfortunately missed there. Royals early up promo, that one hit. Ultimately lost. Hopefully you guys did follow along with the early up promo there. And then Jack Flaherty over 17.5 outs, man. Boy was cruising. He didn't come out in the 6th inning. He ended up getting hurt, I think. I mean, he only had like 60 pitches throughout 5 innings. I mean, he was pitching fantastic. The dude has been a very good pitcher for the Tigers. That one we should have effortlessly cashed there. But, he goes out with an injury. We go 1-2, unfortunately. Not a lot you can do about an injury. I mean, we certainly have said it before, so it's just a bummer, But anyhow, plays for today. And I guess before we get in there, you get the NBA playoffs starting tomorrow. If you're interested, if you're not in the Discord already, we got a 25% code going right now for the just throughout the finals. So it's off your first month. So I mean, you got how many, like 10 days, whatever it is, to get signed up. If you're interested, shoot me a DM on Twitter at LiveJoeBets. I can get you that promo code and get you going there. But first play today. The lines come down a little bit, -120 on DraftKings. Let me look at FanDuel here. It was -110, and then of course you got some bigger accounts posting it, and then that's when it starts to blow up. So you got to get ahead of some of these big ass accounts. Frustrating. Line movement that we got to mess with all the time and stuff. Because once you see it's a string of 3 or 4 of them, once you see one post, it just literally everybody posts it. Everybody follows suit once Alex, whatever the hell his last name is, Austin. As soon as one of them posts a prop, the entire fucking Twitter community posts that prop and is on it too. So anytime you see them post a prop, it just screws everything. -120 on FanDuel as well. Ronel Blanco, yeah, Mountcastle hit 2 of them yesterday. TJ, that's crazy. I seen you got Ellie right on that boost promo or whatever. Anyway, I like Ronel Blanco over 17.5 outs. I think this is a pretty good spot here. Where I don't know why I have a graphic for it. Where you can see, I mean, he's been a little up and down here recently. He's done a pretty good job. A little earlier in the season, I mean, he pitched that complete game. I mean, it went 4 straight, went 4 out of 5, went 4 out of 6. I mean, and then he, his 2 misses were at 17-17, and then he got yanked because he had, the illegal substance or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he got yanked out of the game. That's why he had that short stint against Oakland. But I mean, this bullpen is just torn up for the Astros. They've used so many arms here recently, and I think I had a graphic for that too. I mean, they used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys yesterday. 1, 2 of those guys that pitched in back-to-back games. Like they're not going to be available. They don't have a lot of arms. Like they're only halfway decent arm right now is their closer, which isn't going to come in until like the 8th or the 9th inning if they even use him at all. So, I mean, the need for him to go 6 innings is just massive here, to be honest, just in terms of personnel. They also lost Christian Javier, who, obviously is just another issue with the bullpen that they have, starting bullpen, but there's a lot of different ways to handicap things outside of just the fact that, we'll talk about the Cardinals' skills in a second, but there's just a need for him to want for the team to want him to go at least 6 innings in this game. And you talk about the Cardinals, who are the 3rd worst day hitting team in the league with a .212 batting average, the 4th lowest on base percentage during the day. Then on the other side, you have the Astros, who have the best batting average during the day and the 2nd best on base percentage. So if we have, if they can give Blanco a lead here, a decent lead or a comfortable lead here, you could see that leash lengthen a little bit for Blanco, and they're going to certainly let him go. If they're losing, it's a tie game. I don't know if they got to let him go just because of how banged up this bullpen is. I don't know how many of these guys are going to really be ready to go and how effective they're going to be going. If he's pitching well and he's shutting them down, I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot. And he's pitched into the 90s here, plenty of times. I don't have it pulled up, and I didn't make a note whether or not he's gone into 100 pitches or not. But, I mean, he pitched that complete game. I mean, he certainly has a potential to go deep into games. I've been pretty successful with these out props. Like I said, we would have hit Flaherty yesterday. It was juiced. Chris Flexen, he would not have got the win, as the Cubs ultimately did come back in that game. Crazy comeback, with those home runs. Morel hit a two-run bomb. Wisdom hit a 2-run bomb. But anyhow, first play, Ronel Blanco over 17.5, and get it -120 on DraftKings and -120 on FanDuel. So no matter where you decide to take it, you can get him on any looks there. TJ, I don't know if you had just got in, but I was talking about the early up promo and not really having a read for it. So curious to see if if you had something that was overly sticking out to you. I had said the Reds, but I didn't really like the juice. Was kind of thinking Dodgers was my gut thought. Anytime the Dodgers are near even money, I've I've been pretty successful with the Dodgers. Dodgers, Reds, and Tigers were something I was thinking of, but I don't have anything that I really wanted to lock in. Next play. See, that's what I did. I got a graphic for this game, and I forgot to do a graphic for the one last time. That's okay. We'll just go with a one take for the second play. I just don't know. I just don't trust that Braves pitcher yet. The new pitcher, Pavetta, certainly better. The Red Sox at home. The Braves, did the Braves even hardly score yesterday? I didn't think they had scored much. Yeah, I mean, like, even with Skeens, I mean, it's still the Dodgers. It's still Mookie, Shohei, Freddie, Will. It's still all these solid hitters. But TJ, I'm surprised that you're on Baltimore because I swear Barrios has pitched pretty well against Baltimore in his career. And it looks like they're going a bullpen game. Did they score 8? I was thinking they were having a sluggish day yesterday. I was at this like skating party for kids, so I didn't really like pay attention. But I swear I had seen somebody say that they weren't hitting or something like that. The Jays suck, and he got rocked last time against them for 7. Did he? Let me look that up. Barrios first Orioles. Because I looked at that and I was a little worried about it looked like a bullpen game. Let's see. The last time Wait, it is Jose Barrios, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's got a 10-1 record with a 2.95 ERA. I feel like that's why I remembered that stat. The last time he faced them, he only gave up 2 runs. So combined, he gave up 7 in the last 2. So in 2023, he did. So I feel like that's why I didn't like him, because he's got a 10-1 record career against them. Like, just some pitchers just own teams, and I feel like that's why I hopped off. That's probably why. So I really still don't have an idea. It's Tigers, Reds, or Dodgers. And like I said, I've been on the Dodgers a couple times, and it's just, I don't know. Is Paul Skeens enough to say that is Paul Skeens enough to just win? I mean, he's 2-0. He's pitched 5 times now, maybe 4. Shota Imanaga, fantastic pitcher. Dude got rocked. Eventually it's going to come around. I don't know. Maybe I don't just go with my gut. I'll see if I give something out in the Discord or not. But second play for today, I don't have a graphic for it. Good old Patrick Corbin day today. I did talk about the weather though, so a little bit of a concern, and I'm still gonna run it. I am seeing a lot of people on Patrick Corbin under his outs, which certainly makes sense because if we think he's going to give up a lot of runs, he's probably not going to go very deep. But there is the rain. There's the rain issue. The game is scheduled to start at 4:05, and at 5 o'clock there's an 82% chance of rain. At 6 there's an 80%. At 7 there's an 80%. So, unless they started this game sooner, I just don't see this game. I don't know. I don't think I see this game starting. So I could certainly see a possibility of us maybe getting screwed, that they try to start the game. He only comes out for an inning or 2, and then it ends up going into a delay. Then they come out in an hour or 2, and then obviously he's not pitching anymore. And then now we got to mess with the bullpen, who is a pretty mid bullpen. So if the game starts, we just certainly have to hope that they're going to make it. So this is, in my opinion, one where just looking at the radar and everything, it's just there's an 80% chance of rain from 5 on. I mean, honestly, even 4 o'clock. So, I mean, if they try to start this game at 4, knowing the impending rain, I feel like that's going to be kind of crazy. But, I mean, we'll certainly see. It's a bit of a risk, but I mean, that's what gambling is anyway. Get it at minus 125 on DraftKings, though. Like I said, not a whole lot to talk about it. Patrick Corbin Day, the Guardians, didn't win for us last game. They had a runner thrown out at home though, so it's not like they weren't close in that game. They ended up scoring 2. We needed 3. They had a runner scored out at home, which would have been the third, which would have been a cash for us. I mean, they were right there. The chance seems to always be there. It's just whether or not the teams are going to execute. The Mets have hit this organically in four straight games now. I mean, they've just been scoring quickly. They've been hitting lefties very well. That, like I said a day or two ago, I feel like we were on the Mets. They were one of the worst hitting teams against a lefty, and all of a sudden they've got a real high on base percentage. They've been just killing it against left-handed pitchers. So I mean, they've been certainly been looking good. And then if you get into, let me pull up like the batter versus pitcher. I mean, it's just insane. Honestly, like the Mets have just owned Patrick Corbin. It's a pitcher that they've seen a lot. Let me see here, Patrick Corbin. Yeah. I'm sure it is still a good look. It's just I've just been one like where I've been trying to like pick and choose a little more. And if there's a stat that I have to like ignore or like the dude has just own them, like it's just not to say it's not a good play because I do think it probably is TJ with the Orioles over. But he mentioned that the Orioles, the Blue Jays bullpen games and they're torn up, blah blah blah. I'm sure it is still a good play. It's just something that I'm gonna hop off just because of the that stat or whatever. But Pete Alonso's hit 5 home runs against Patrick Corbin. He's batting 300 against them. And I mean, we're talking 40 at bats for a lot of these guys. Starling Marte bats 300 against them. He's hit 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 10 hits in general. Jeff McNeil's got 10 hits against them. Bats 270. Nemo bats 270 with a home run, 10 hits. Bader 250. Martinez has got just 1 hit on him, faced him just 1 time. So I mean, like, there's a good history against them. We, depending on what this weather is going to look like, I mean, that's certainly going to be the factor here. I feel like we're at a spot here where it's either going to get rained out and it's going to get postponed and not even start just because they're going to see all this rain, or the rain holds off and we're going to get it in. So it goes either way here. I think obviously worst case scenario is he comes in, just throws an inning or two. We don't get any runs. It goes into a delay. He doesn't come in, and then we've lost our edge essentially. But like I said, they've been scoring in 4 straight over this total anyway without Patrick Corbin. So who's to say they don't, continue to hit or whatever, So that'll be our second play. And then the third play here, we're going to go back to this game that kind of killed us. And actually, before we do that, as usual, do me a favor. I'm going to get into it myself here. I'm going to like the video on YouTube. Make sure you guys have done it too for me. Help me out with that algorithm. Get me, get me out there to people that have not watched yet. I got 5, moved to 6. There's 15 people watching. Make sure you hit that like button for me, please. If you're watching on Twitter and you made it this far, come on over to YouTube too as well. What? Where are the white girls at? What you talking about? Totally messed me up. But anyway, if you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube at Lunchtime in the Lab. Like I said at the top of the show, I got my t-shirt in from the merch store. I want to try it on, see how it fits, see what the quality is feeling like, everything like that. And hopefully be able to launch the merch store here pretty soon, which is kind of exciting. Okay. And yeah, so Darren, where are the white girls at? I don't know if that's a typo. I don't know what that means. But go ahead and let me know what the heck you're talking about there, buddy. All right. Anyway, third play. Gonna go with the Phillies' first 5 team total over 2.5 in this play. We can get it minus 115 on DraftKings. Generally, I would say if you got the full game team total, go ahead and play it. But this is really a spot where I'm attacking the pitcher. I'm getting after the first 5 spot. If I like the first 5, you're not overly short for the full game, so it's up to you. Get DraftKings. I think Fanatics has it. I think BetMGM has it. But like I said from the notes here, I think if Phillies first at a first thought, I was thinking the Phillies first game, Phillies full game. Jeez, oh Pete, team total. But then I looked, and they've only scored 5+ in like 2 of their last 10 games. They haven't really been hitting the ball all that well. They certainly slumped yesterday. They've been in a little bit of slump now. They're at home where they were hitting fantastic. One of the best teams, at home. One of the best scoring teams, batting average, everything like that. But they've fallen off a little bit, and I think this is probably a pretty good spot to kind of bounce back here as we get to attack Aaron Ashby, who is the listed starter for today. He was around in 2022, but he struggled big time. 2-10 record with a 4.44 ERA. The guy was like pure fade material. The guy really struggled. Just in general, 4.44 ERA. He spent 2023 in the minors, but he only threw like 7 innings in a few starts. So I don't know if he was like hurt, if that was part of a rehab, like if that's why he was in AAA. Like I don't know the full guy's guy's story, but I mean he was definitely giving up like a decent amount of runs when he was in the minors. This year he pitched for the Brewers, but he got killed. He gave up 6 hits, 8 runs, only 4 of them was earned. There was an error, or something like that. But I mean, it doesn't matter. The dude still gave up a bunch of runs, 8 runs in his only start this year. They dropped him back down to AAA. He comes into this matchup, with a 9.82 ERA in the big leagues. They dropped him down to AAA. In May, he had a 6.80 ERA, a 1-3 record, giving up 33 runs in 43 innings pitched. It's not like the guy's been on fire in AAA. It's not like there's, they really need him, because he's been pitching fantastic and his guys suck. I mean, he's probably just filling a hole here for us. The guy's just been getting killed in AAA. He got killed in 2022, 2023. The guy's not a great pitcher. If there's ever a get right spot here for the Phillies, it's certainly going to be against this guy, in my opinion. Not to mention that you got wind blowing out to dead center. So I think it certainly benefits, both sides of the plate, lefty and right-handed pitchers. The ballpark pal has it as a 13% increase in runs, a 26% increase in home run chance today. I mean, that over might not be a bad look, but Aaron Nola is pitching, so you would certainly think he has an advantage there. So yeah, over 2.5 first 5 team total for the third play. Grinch, Phillies, Reds, Yankees. I mean, that's the way I would go. I definitely like the Phillies and the Yankees. If I was going to run a 2-leg, I was thinking that might be it. Get about plus 140, something like that. If I were to do that, if I was going to run it officially or whatever. Was leaning the Reds for the early up promo, but I just still can't make a decision, to be honest. Part of me wants to say the Braves just because I really want action at the 1:30 game, but I've learned my lesson betting that game just because I want to bet it because it's the early game. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that. I got an early enough game at 2:10 there that we'll get on. So the Reds early up might be the way to go. I just got to decide if I want to put, 1.35 units on it or not, or if, whatever we're going to potentially do. Anyway, recap here though for the podcast, and then we can talk about home run lotto here real quick, see if anybody doesn't have anything. But we're going to go Ronel Blanco over 17.5 outs. Pitching outs, Mets first 5 team total over 2.5 for Patrick Corbin Day. And then which is minus 125 on DraftKings. Ronel is minus 120. Phillies first 5 team total over 2.5, minus 115. So those are the 3 plays. In terms of a home run lotto for today, man, I think it's kind of hard to ignore some of this though. Like you got Marcell Ozuna against Nick Pivetta has hit 6 home runs. Yeah, I mean he's on every team all the time. So anyhow, not in a bad way, but I mean, like he's, gives out, 5 or 6 plays. So it's hard to know whether or not that means anything or if it's just one of the plays. Marcell Ozuna's hit 6 home runs in his career against Pivetta. If I'm not mistaken, the last time the Braves faced the Reds, he hit a home run against Pivetta as well. He's got 8 hits, 6 of them are home runs. I feel like Ozuna is probably one of the more popular spots today, but I think it's you got to at least add him on for the time being, for part of this lotto. And then you look at, Pete Alonso has hit 5 home runs against Patrick Corbin. But then you talk about like the weather issue today. So you don't wonder if like Pete Alonso maybe isn't a good look just because we're gonna end up giving that leg up if and if the game starts and only goes an inning or two, it's not going to be against Patrick Corbin. And then if it gets canceled, we're just gonna lose that line altogether. Really, man. Looking at there's what's this guy's Nick Pivetta. Looking at these Braves against Nick Pivetta, man. Ozuna bats 300. Albies is let's just say Ozuna's got 8 hits, 6 home runs on him. Albies has got 7 hits, a triple on him. Orlando Arcia has got 6 hits. He bats 800 against them. Riley's got 4 hits, 222. Dude, Austin Riley sucks. I'm so tired of that guy. Darno bats 500 against them. Crazy, man. I wonder what the Braves team total is. That makes me think the Braves early up isn't a bad look, man. A lot of these Braves hit Pivetta really well. Got a team total of over 4.5. Red Sox is the same. Y'all might have to talk me out of that. Okay, anyway, Marcell Ozuna, dude's just been hitting the ball well. You also got wind blowing out at Fenway. I don't know how many of those home runs have been at Fenway, to be completely honest. I don't, let me see if I can find that. It's Marcell Ozuna versus Pivetta. Let's see. Game log. All right. Shoot, Ozuna actually hit 2 home runs against them this year. Back on May 8th, he hit 2 home runs against them. So he's hit 1 in Boston against them. Okay. So he's been in Boston just twice. He's hit a home run against them 1 time. So it was back when Pivetta was on like the Phillies was when it's just more recently. It's probably going to be really popular, but I just feel like Ozuna, dude just got his number, I don't know. Fan funded. I swear you've mentioned that before, Darren. I don't know what that is. And I'm telling you guys, I just feel like Ian Happ is just a great look for a home run today. Whether or not it's just a crazy read or whatever. I'm gonna close out of TikTok. I don't ever get anybody on these lives anymore. Marcell Ozuna and Ian Happ to hit a home run is plus 1,800. That's not bad. Happ is hitting the hell out of the ball yesterday. And the wind's blowing out to right field. So, a lefty hitter is not a bad look. I mean, Bellinger's not going to be a bad look either, but are there any promos right now? My promos page on FanDuel just takes forever to pull up. Got NBA, Alive for the Phillies and the Brewers. A no sweat 3-leg same game parlay token. Boy. I feel like that's got to be like a 3-leg home run lotto in that game. So let me hop off of that because I'm going to use Hap for that. Honestly, I'd run like Bellinger, Hap, and like Luis Roberts for like a 3-leg late in that game. Let's go. Man, I don't even know actually at this point because I would want to take somebody in that game. Like I said, sometimes we spend entirely too much time on these. Let's go after a Philly just because I need that. Let's go over a Philly and a Yankee. Let's see. Some of these Phillies have faced Ashby before. Harper has a hit against them. Realmuto and Castellanos both have a hit. Nick Castellanos. Is Realmuto going to be catching though? I'm going to take JT Realmuto in that game. And then a Yankee. When do the Yankees play? I feel like we need to go back to Soto. Because it's always the day after, you know? We'll run Soto back. You going on a Soto basketball jersey? Good looking. We'll run Soto. We said that at like the same time. All right. Marcell Ozuna has hit whatever, 5 or 6 home runs against Pivetta. So 6 home runs against Pivetta. JT Realmuto, we got wind blowing out to dead center. He's got 2 hits on the dude already. So, I mean, not a bad look. I mean, someone's got to hit a home run, right? And then Juan Soto giving out a jersey. And we were on him, you know, just a day ago, maybe 2 days ago, if not yesterday. I can't remember. But, you know, it always seems like it's the next day kind of thing, you know. So, all right. So to recap again here, just real quick, we're going to do, where's my notes? Ronald Blanco over 17.5 outs. Mets first 5 team total over 2.5. Phillies first 5 team total over 2.5. Home run lotto for today is Marcell Ozuna, JT Realmuto, and Juan Soto. Plus 6,676. So nothing crazy on it, but I'll take it. That's all I got for today, guys. I'm going to close it out. And that's all I got. That's all I got. I felt like I was going to have something else to say, but I suppose I don't. Appreciate you guys. And I'll catch you guys back tomorrow.